Welcome to the declaration of war to the world, and again this declaration was made by Germans. Making fastest sedan in the world with heated, ventilated and massage seats was as insulting as receiving $5 gift card for your birthday from your sibling that borrowed $100 from you to buy you presents few days before your birthday. It had more power than top supercars in the beginning of 2000s. It was more powerful than Lamborghini Murcielago, Ferrari 612, Aston Martin Vanquish and even Pagani Zonda. It had same straight-line performance as brand new Ferrari F430 that came out at the end of W220 production, and it was even faster after the 100 kilometers. BMW, Audi and Lexus could not even dream to be near those numbers for next 15 years in their super large sedans. No sedan at that time had 600 plus brake horsepower with 5-year warranty, especially in 2004.
I will not compare S65 to the most expensive BMW or Audi or any other four-door sedan, because in the world of boxing, S65 is like Mike Tyson in his prime before he discovered drugs, and other four-door sedans are like Jake Paul before he discovered boxing. So let's start from supercars. Aston Martin Vanquish was 1.5 seconds slower to 100 kilometers than German super sedan, and 70,000 more expensive. Also, from 0 to 200 kilometers it was slower than Mercedes by 3.5 seconds. Even brand new DB9 that had more power, was faster, had better gearbox, in general was a lighter car and even more expensive, still was slower than S65. W220 S65 destroyed twin-turbo Bentley and Arch that was more expensive and of course was more luxurious inside, but if we compare performance, S65 annihilated Bentley and Arch. And the best part is that not only Bentley and Arch couldn't compete with S-Class AMG, but the brand new Bentley Continental with the W12 twin-turbo engine was actually slower, and that was a coupe. Bentley achieved 0 to 100 km in 4.8 seconds, and S65 did it in 4.2-4.3. From 0 to 200 km, S65 was 5 seconds faster than the two-door Bentley, and the Bentley was $140,000 more expensive than the S65. Now let's talk about the top performance cars in 2000s. Ford GT40 was faster to 100 km than S65 if it had perfect grip and perfect gear changes, which happened rarely, and to get perfect launch was very difficult in this wild car. In a race of 0 to 200 km, sleek, modern supercar lost every time to four-door sedan. W220 was more aerodynamic than GT40, had more torque, and in general more power. The drag coefficient of GT40 was 0.35 and the drag coefficient of W220 was 0.27. With slight cheap tuning from Rentec, S65 could go head-to-head with hypercars on stock turbos, cooling and engine internals. It could generate up to 700 brake horsepower and of course 1200 torques or even more, and in rolling race was faster than any 12 from Lamborghini or Ferrari, and even Koenigsegg CCR. The most fascinating thing about the W220 S65 is that you got all the performance in the world for much less money, and still you got luxurious interior and everything you ever wanted.
In total, 605 units were produced. Price for this magnificent vehicle started at $169,000, and for that price it was a bargain. You have real supercar performance with most advanced technology and most luxurious feature. Under hood we have one of the most powerful V12s in the world, M275. It had real 6-liter displacement, not 5.8 liters or 5.5 liters, real big balls 6-liter V12 with twin turbos. M275 was hand-built engine with engine parts that were specially made to withstand this huge amount of power without any consequence. Pistons were tougher than Mormon girl's morals on her first date, bigger fuel ejectors with more aggressive fuel pump, valves were perfectly tuned, so now you had higher intake valve lift, longer valve opening durations, and turbos were same size as Andrew Tate's Ego. All that generated 603 brake horsepower and 1200 Nm of torque, but torque was limited to only 1000 Nm. If you get lucky with grip, 0 to 100 would happen under 4 seconds, but the usual numbers were 4.4 or 4.5 seconds. Even with absence of high revving redline, V12 would run out of breath at 5800 rpm. It could deliver deadly punches without any effort. Unfortunately, V12 ran out of breath at 5800 rpm. Even with absence of high revving redline, it could deliver deadly punches without any effort, just like my toxic ex-wife did not use much air to insult all my bloodline in one sentence. V12 had enormous amount of power and torque, and it never vibrated at any conditions. As long as you get traction, speedometer does not stop climbing, and it could do that performance all day 24/7 without running out of juice. It can do cross-country rally at the same speed as corrupt politician gives government contracts to his allies and relatives. What I love most about this car is that today it's not used as a museum piece and kept from everybody like other fast cars. Owners of W220 S65 drag race them all the time and eliminate competitors with same savage energy as LGBTQ cult eliminates freedom of anyone who has brains, by shouting at them and making stupid faces and insane claims. Spare parts for the fastest W220 in the world actually are not difficult to find. W221 had the same engine, W222 had the same engine, also all the CL versions of 65 had the same engines, even the G65 had the same engine. So finding parts is not a problem. Problem is to save money for the part that you need and buy it. Top speed of this wonderful missile is 250 kilometers, and this top speed is limited. Without the limiter, you will see 300 kilometers without any problems. And I have no idea why the Mercedes put limiter for this car, and for additional cost you could remove that limiter, and now I got my answer. Interior of S65 is more luxurious than any interior of W220. I am not a big fan of W220 interior, but it has every imaginable option that you ever need when you buy it in the S65 trim. Thick lappan leather, Alcantara everywhere, proper Alcantara that is very thick, smells nice, and when you touch it, it does not change its color. Not that Chinese cheap shit that all the luxurious cars use today. Leather is the best quality you will ever find. All seats are heated and cooled, front seats have message in them. You can have refrigerator, satellite TV, DVD player, you could even order granite interior or carbon fiber trim if you wanted. Many claim that S65 AMG interior had the same quality as Maybach interior. Today, with all new eco-use toilet paper materials, this quality of natural materials in the interior as precious as owners go with zero body count and some knowledge of how to cook basic meals. Design of AMG W220 is getting better day by day. It looks decent and it does not show its muscles. It does look like a very distinguished nuclear rocket. Year by year I'm getting used to the design of W220, especially in AMG pack I do find this car attractive. It doesn't look modern compared to new cars, but it does look and feel very special. Perfectly polished W220 AMG will put smile on any car lover face. And people will know that either you are very rich or very financially irresponsible. Either way, you will be the most interesting person at any car party. Problems with this car are not very big. The most common problems with M275 is the coil pack assemble. It will go bad after 60-70,000 kilometers, and those coils are very expensive. Each coil costs about $1,000. ABC system can break down if it's not serviced on time and if the car is not driven properly. Just change ABC fluid every 30,000 kilometers and you will be fine. Transmission needs oil change every 60-70,000 kilometers, but it's very reliable. Also clean all the radiators and cooling and change all the cooling liquids every 60-70,000 kilometers in the engine and in the transmission. Every 100,000 kilometers turbos need some service. There are many Ukrainians, Russians and other ex-Soviet Union owners of W220 S65 that daily drive this car, and all of them say that this car has the same maintenance as reliable Toyota. They spend same amount of money on as in servicing Land Cruiser or big Lexus SUVs. And that is actually very unbelievable. For decades we have been told that V12 will break down every 9 seconds, but if you find a car that was loved and was not neglected in maintenance, you will enjoy it without financial ruin. It needs oil change every 6-7,000 kilometers, and one oil change is at least 10 liters. It has 2 sparks per cylinder, so when you change sparks it will be 24 sparks and you must use only premium fuel. I heard that some of the S65s got ceramic brakes, but I never saw it in the real life. Normal brake pads also must be changed every 25-30,000 kilometers and they will cost you at least $1,200. And disc brakes must be changed every 60-70,000 kilometers and they will cost you at least $3,000. And of course, the fuel consumption is insane. 25 liters per 100 kilometers, and for burger-loving viewers it is 9 miles per gallon. And those numbers will happen driving peacefully without even accelerating properly. Thinking about fuel consumption in this car, then this is definitely not for you, and you can walk or ride your tricycle to Gayland and never put your eyes on my channel again. If you really think about the maintenance cost and everything compared to the performance that the car gives, it's still a bargain. Price for this wonderful pure car W220 S65 starts from $12,000 and goes up to $50,000 for a very nice, loved, well-kept car. So if you have cash to maintain it, buy it without thinking, because again, performance to price value is just insane. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about my video and what do you think about wonderful S65 W220. Take care and bye bye.